Welcome back to Good Moms, Bad Choices. I'm Erica.
And I'm Mila.
And it's Wednesday, bitches.
Happy motherfucking Wednesday.
It's hump day. I'm not humping. Actually, by the time this comes out, hopefully I'm humping.
Okay. Yes, we're going to manifest humping for you.
I humped today, guys. Speaking into existence.
I think I'm gonna hump tonight.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Can I come hump with you?
My God. Do you want to watch me hump? So actually,
oh my God,
yes, can I come watch?
No, but
we're going straight to it. Shit.
But also,
well,
but
so
also,
much for that morbid. I'm not humping.
No,
Everybody's humping now.
No, I would love y'all
love
because
it.
this is possibly a pegging situation too. So,
Oh.
so y'all can like.
Mandy, don't tell me with a good time.
No, I'm so serious.
If it's
I'm
who I
dead
think
ass.
it is, you can't come.
Oh wait, no, it's not.
Okay, good.
It's not.
Okay.
It's someone else that I haven't even showed
could
y'all.
come, bitch. Okay.
You know how you go?
Yeah, I do.
You're ghetto, first of all. Wait.
Right, intro, bitch.
First of all, wow, bitches.
I'm not pegging anyone. I'm not humping anyone. I am happily spoken for.
She's like, let the record show.
I'm
I
like,
won't be in the building.
I'm like, we introduced the pegging before we introduced the
Yeah,
people.
you may or may not. You probably know these voices, you guys.
Now you do talk about pegging. We have the one and only Peg the motherfucking stallion.
All right, y'all. It's Mandy, actually. Thank you.
Sorry, Mandy B.
Thank you.
And the wonderful, talented Bridget Kelly.
Yes.
Talk your shit.
We have See the Thing Is podcast with us.
Yes.
Yes.
Finally.
I
This is
know.
also, you guys are like breaking our cherry. I feel like we two have not yet done another pod together.
with each other.
With each other.
So we're your first
So
pod.
this is our
this
first
is this is Kismet. We really wanted to do this with you
I'm
guys.
honored.
Yes, it was great.
We are
yes.
honored.
Yes.
Oh my God.
We've been scheduling and busy bitches. It's been hard to get figured it out. Figured it out. But we figured it out.
We did. Yes.
So happy to have you guys. Welcome to Cali.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back to Cali, I'll say.
I know. I love it here. Mandy hates it.
And I don't ever want to come here.
Why?
I'm just not a fan of LA.
You don't really come here. That's true.
I don't.
She hasn't gotten like to experience the way most
Girl,
of
first
us
off, I've been
live.
getting flown out to LA.
That's not
for
experiencing LA,
years.
sis.
You didn't do it on your own terms.
But
Yeah.
I've done that too. One of my best friends. Actually, I have like a ton of best friends that live out here, but
Not a ton of best friends.
not a
well,
ton.
I do.
Fucking
But one
Libra.
of my best
Right.
friends that we actually met when we worked together in Miami. She also lived with me in New York and then moved back out here. So she's actually like a LA native. I've been out here with her multiple times. Like, just not a
just not for
fan.
you?
It's just
Don't
not for
disrespect me
me
with this long ass explanation. Okay?
No, it's literally just not for me. I think that, but also you don't like Atlanta. Atlanta is like my second base and my second home.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just what I like everything here just seems, we sit in traffic every fucking where.
Slow.
It's slower. The fact that it closes at like 2:00 because probably the gangs and shit. Dangerous and
listen,
shit.
Bitch, you are from Florida. It is not slower than Florida.
Are you
Like,
serious?
I feel like people from down south don't like LA because it's just a completely different vibe.
It is. It might be that. Also, you guys talk like this and everyone eats avocado toast. And
I
it's
actually had
ready for avocado toast
I
today.
literally had
so don't
avocado
do
toast
that.
because I'm in
morning.
LA. I said, I gotta eat avocado toast because I'm here.
We fuck with crystals and tarot cards and shit.
You know, we also just
Devil's-
said,
the
let's
devil's
order
work.
lunch, and it has greens in it. So great. I know we're eating like salads or some shit. I'm just
I was
like,
gonna
it's
order
LA.
a crispy chicken sandwich. Y'all got me fucked up.
But mind you, I'm also the one, like, we went out to lunch one day and I was like, ooh, bitch, you gotta try chicken gizzards. And I'm like,
Okay,
What?
you are.
What
you are
restaurant are
She's
you
Southern.
Southern ass bitch.
She's Southern.
Chicken gizzards. No,
I
thank
like
you.
some chicken gizzards.
Like
all right?
on a Tuesday at 3
Yeah,
p.m.
Just on a regular day.
We went to like a dollar store and I said, ooh, girl, that's chicken gizzards next to you. You gotta put hot sauce on that thing. And she didn't like it, but I said,
I tried it. I gave it a shot.
Well, that's so kind of you, Bridget.
Yes, I'm a trisexual. I'll try most things once.
Trisexual.
I'll try most things
There we
once.
go. You know,
Yeah.
I'll try it. I mean, I try everything and then normally I stick to it. So what is that called? A stick to it sexual?
You're a pansexual.
No.
Try it all sexual.
No, it's not pansexual.
Pansexual is that you like people. I'm a
You are
I'm a
yes
pansexual.
sexual.
I'm a eversexual.
I'm a eversexual.
The all sexual.
all
You know how you people
sexual.
got asexual? It's all sexual.
All sexual. I like that
all,
too.
Yeah, it's all. There's no discrimination. It's
Wow.
all.
I
Everything.
feel like
All
there's be a
inclusive.
website.
No, I told you I have a discrimination. I'm shallow. I like really good looking people and that's it.
I mean, but
I am
Period.
shallow.
That's relative, though.
It is,
Yeah, it is relative.
It's subjective.
you like what you.
That's
like.
what I meant, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm trying to
Is
sound
relative
smart.
and subjective the same thing? She is the dictionary on legs.
Relative and subjection are relative and subjective are not the same thing.
They're not the
Okay,
same.
well, I meant subjective.
They're
Yes.
subjective. There
You know,
we go.
you know what I meant.
Yes.
You know what the fuck I meant? I sounded smart.
Well, anyway, see, the thing is that I'm trying to go to this pegging session tonight.
Oh, wait, back to the most important
now
thing.
I gotta say, hey, there might be a
distracting from
+2
the
in
topic
bedroom.
at hand. Okay.
So you're inviting us.
I would love to invite you.
Okay. Well, I'll be
well, we're
there.
there.
Let me know what time.
Okay.
Anyway,
We're the friends you call if you want possibly a unicorn, you want someone to watch. You let us know the time, and one of us will make ourselves available because that's the type of bitches
You
we
know
are.
what's crazy? A lot of people that listen to the pod, even I just saw a comment that someone who listens to us and is like, "Oh my god, I wish I had friends like these." Do you guys have a tribe here with Good Moms Bad Choices where they're like, "Damn, I wish I knew other moms that are like y'all," or "I wish I just had girlfriends that are like y'all"?
yeah, they're called
sure.
the tribe.
Our entire tribe is
Oh,
like
that
us.
one's going to Costa Rica.
They're the tribe going to Costa Rica. They're the tribe on Patreon. They're the tribe in our Slack that eventually I'm going to move to Discord.
As soon as she figures it out, I told Orlando, I'm like, we can't.
Discord connects to Patreon.
I know.
We just can't figure it out.
Okay.
We don't. We can't find the button.
It's like the channels on Slack are similar.
I'm not
to
going to hold you. Technology. It's hard.
It's because
We're old. I
exhausting.
literally was just having a conversation today, and I said, the way that I hate voice notes and group chats, you would think I'm a 55-year-old woman. Literally, even shout out May. She was like, "Well, we can just get on a group chat." I've emailed her before group chatting.
She will purposely avoid the group chat.
She's like, "What's your email?"
She'll say exactly what you said, but that's the thing too. Mandy has read receipts, so a group chat you can't see if she reads it, but you'll know because she'll reply to you in an email.
It's because it's because Mandy has 24 best friends and they're all texting her on top of the fucking group chat. It's too many.
But also,
things.
I have
Correct.
5 businesses with 5 different
Exactly,
teams
and 10
then
emails.
there's-
5 different. That's why you need a group
so
chat.
It's too much.
She needs an email chain.
It's way too much. But also, I think we were talking about it too. Like, the older I get, the more I'm like trying to set these boundaries of my time and keeping my sanity to myself. And to me, in terms of text messages, people feel as though
They can access you anytime.
it's the access to me at all fucking times. And now, even y'all being on the West Coast and the time zone differences are different. And now, nigga, it's midnight. It's 9 o'clock for y'all, and my phone is just
Are
going
you
off.
saying you don't appreciate our group chat with you?
No, I love our group chat. But what I'm
I
saying
feel
is,
like she was kind of subbing.
I was
you.
right.
I was like,
But the time difference between LA and New York is
Wait,
3 hours, and when I'm in bed.
what's our group chat name? It's like 2 baby mamas and
2 baby mamas
And
and
a
a
hoe.
hoe.
And a hoe, right?
But now that's our group chat name. But now I
So basically, y'all have a podcast on text.
oh wait, 2
That
baby
sounds like a
mamas
podcast on text. 2 baby mamas and a hoe.
Wait, well, now we
but
need
now
the
I'm
group
not a
chat to be
hoe.
2 baby mamas, a hoe, and a spoken for bitch.
I'm spoken for.
No, you
guys
can just
met
call
my
me the
partner.
square.
Okay, I'm just saying.
2 baby mamas, a
You're
hoe, and a
still a hoe,
square.
though.
Am I still a hoe because we have a non-traditional relationship? Like,
Okay.
y'all have met my man, so I'm technically a taken hoe now. I'm spoken
Okay,
for.
taken home.
We'll update
2
the
baby
group chat.
mamas, 2 baby mama hoes, 1 taken home.
Right.
And
a spoken for.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's spoken for.
spoken for.
But yeah, I just don't like the access.
I get you.
all the time to everybody.
You know what? I wanted to, we just jumped right in today. I wanted to speak on what you said. If other friends, we have friends, we could be like, oh, come on to me peg tonight. You know, I was just thinking about this while I was peeing in the bathroom because everybody made me pee because I pee a lot. And last night, okay, so me and Erica got new tattoos the other day because we're 12.
That's awesome.
Do you know what's crazy?
I hope
Every
you're not,
time
you're
I'm
not
with
12
my friends,
getting
we
new
get matching tattoos. Shout out to Crystal. We know.
Ooh, which
have
one?
two-
What's new?
Well, we have these. Me and Jimmy have these matches.
This needs to be touched up. Anyway.
Bad choices. Oh wait, what's the new tattoo?
No, okay, so last night, me and Eric, the other night on a school
That's
night.
new?
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's
beautiful.
beautiful.
It is beautiful.
You shout out to Mr. H.
Erica
Wow.
and I got tattoos on a school night at 9 p.m.
It wasn't smart.
Y'all
Wasn't
such
smart.
moms.
It was the kids.
smart.
The kids were in the
choices
next
on brand.
room.
Bad choices on brand.
We made our kids go to sleep before the tattoo started. They knew we were getting them, but we're like, go the fuck to bed.
Oh, wait, he comes to y'all?
He came to the house.
Oh, we're doing that.
Luna was like,
Wow.
Luna
We
was
should have
like,
a tattoo party.
Let's do it.
Luna was like, I heard you screaming. Did it hurt? I was like, you were supposed to be asleep. Anyway, I got the tattoo on the back of my thigh. I wonder if I could.
Yes. All
There
right.
we go.
Wait, hold on.
I said, are you manifesting anal sex? Why is it right
It
under
says
your butt?
manifest?
Why is it right under your
It's
butt
in the
cheek?
cup. It's in the
It's in the- it's
undercarriage.
It's right below the cup, but
It's
you
the
can still see it.
undercarriage.
I wanted like a garter belt tattoo. Whatever. Anyway,
I
I'm
helped
a hoe.
her place it.
So yesterday, speaking of tribes and friends and like authenticity, I think that being podcasters, I think it's made me and us probably more like authentic in who we are in all aspects.
Yes, I would
right?
agree. I would
like
agree.
I'm not gonna it's harder for me to be less of myself, even though myself is not comfortable for everybody. So last night I was at my friends' houses who are not podcasters and not as comfortable as with the shits. Not with the shits. And I was like, oh, I got a new tattoo. And my best friend of years, I shouldn't, whatever, was there with her new man.
Welcome to podcasting. We overshare and are over transparent. And we just have to hope everyone that knows us is okay with it.
I hope so. So my friend's there with her new boyfriend. He's new, but we've all known him for years. But like they rekindled this shit. So like whatever. So the kids, like my kid is there, and I'm like, oh, I didn't show you my new tattoo. So I started to pull down my sweatpants to show them, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm wearing panties. Look away, boyfriend. And then I just
look at her face.
And I
she's
just
about to read you.
I showed her my tattoo, and then so this morning before we recorded, she calls me. She's like, do you have a minute? I'm like, this sounds serious. Do I? I'm like, yeah, what's up? I thought some serious shit. She's like, last night when you pulled down your pants to show me us your tattoo, I didn't really like that. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't really think about it. But then in the bathroom, I'm like, oh, God, I am too much. I should chill. But I'm like, I'm so used to being amongst like certain friends that I'm like, my titty, like I have no, my boundaries are like, can you guys cuddle me? You want to cuddle me? Cuddle, let's cuddle. Like some bitches don't want you to cuddle.
But can I ask you that? Because in terms of,
it's different for different friends.
It is, but also,
it is, and I have to be better.
Yeah, but I know I've had a friend where, to me, maybe they weren't as close. So to me, normally, and I'll ask you without being shady, of course, I had a friend in the past that where when I would spend the night at her house, if I had guys come over or a guy was maybe coming to pick me up, she would greet him in like a t-shirt and panties. That to me is not okay. And I know I've had to apologize to her before as well, because we do like Sunday dinners. And maybe I've come over where my shorts were too short to be respectful to her and her relationship. So I want to know for you, what those boundaries or conversations look like with your homegirls who have partners where maybe it's not a big deal for you, but we all know that sometimes it's not even the friend. It's maybe what the nigga may do, or feeling as though now maybe he may think something because you just think it's okay to show your ass in front of him. Like, what does that conversation look like, and how did you respond, and will you do it again?
Well, there have been other conversations that weren't had with me behind my back. And so with similar situations, because I am who I am, and that I don't appreciate. So I apologize, and I said, I appreciate you for calling me and not harboring on it or talking shit.
Because it was right away.
And because in the past when that's happened, I'm like, bitch, that was 5 years ago.
Oh.
And I'm like, and you've obviously been talking about this, and you've obviously been harboring on this, and if we're friends, you should be able to just call me and tell me, and not 5 years later.
Let me ask you, if multiple friends if this has happened at all now with this friend and now with previous friends.
No, this is the same friend.
Oh.
It's just, I have two pretty, look, I know my audience, if I would probably,
but your audience is not their boyfriends.
It's not even then. I fucked up. That is not the friend. I know how you are. We're not the same.
Okay.
Right.
If I get topless in front of Mandy's boyfriend, it's not gonna.
No.
Clearly it's a party. But
a whole party.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's something that I have to be mindful of, and I know that. And I didn't really think twice about it last night, even though I know this particular friend, and we've had conversations about that. But what I did say was, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do. I wasn't being intentional. And thank you for calling me and not calling somebody else, or not waiting, because that's what's happened in the past. So but I was just like, me knowing the type of person that I am and how comfortable I am in my nudity, I have to understand that for me, it's like, if my friends can't cuddle with my nigga, are you my nigga? Can we all be like, I just want it all to be cohesive, and also I don't want to date someone that I think is going to go behind my back and be weird. And I don't think that is her thing. I don't think she thinks that.
I think, because I was going to say, I FaceTime her naked as fuck, and she be in the bed with her nigga, and she be like, girl, my nigga's right. I be like, hey, hey, now you just won't see.
I know. Well, I mean, and full transparency, he's a man. So in his group chat, There was it was unfortunate, and it infuriated me more so because I'm so protective of Mandy. That there was a nude circulated
in his group chat.
Reddit, and it made it to my man's group chat. And
wait, it was you?
It was me.
It was her.
Wait.
This was actually a nude, which is super weird. I feel like it's child porn at this point, but I was 18, and a friend who ended up not being a friend anymore, I gave her a BlackBerry of mine. Again, this was 2009, 2010. I didn't clean the phone before giving it to her.
It was a good nude.
I looked cute. My titties were super small by then.
My titties looked great.
Yeah, they were high. They were high. My quick weave wasn't as attractive. That didn't age too well.
As attractive.
You got money. You got money now. You're rich now.
My quick weave didn't age. But when I gave her my phone, I didn't erase all of the things.
And she let it circulate?
She posted it on Twitter back in like 2010, 2011. And so it ended up just being something that lives online. And it ended up on Reddit, especially when I got being on the Joe Budden network and it being such a male-focused audience. It's like everyone went into all of the archives of everything that Bridget and I have ever done.
Right.
Oh,
and it
wow.
just landed.
We have some some creepy stands on Reddit that literally have videos that Mandy and I posted. Like they posted someone that's like that super stalks us was like, oh, Mandy and Bridget have been friends for years, and posted like her footage of my performance, my show in New York, like 2.5 years ago.
Like that you don't even have anymore?
Right.
It's not in my phone.
It's not in my phone either. Like
it's like, how did y'all save that? This was on an Instagram story
like years ago. It's weird. But no, I do say that for me, it's now him for him, because he's older than me and older than her as well. His relationship with Mandy is one of a big brother where he's very protective also. So for me, it's less about, being concerned about what we deem appropriate and more about making sure that she knows this is that she's safe with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think like, even when you would text me and you were like, hey, I just want to apologize.
So mind you, I literally text her maybe the next morning just because
and I hadn't even thought about it. It wasn't even on my radar.
But I knew my shorts were really short. This was the summer in New York, and she's my neighbor. So, bitch, what I was wearing in the house,
she pulled
up
her
into my house
fit.
clothes, and literally just because she's my friend as well. So I like that your friend A hit you the next day, but because there was a comment made about the size of my shorts, I made sure to let her know. Not in any way did I want to disrespect your relationship, and I think that's who you are. We're both a lot in the same. So I also know Mandy,
and you know that's not
your
her
friend,
intention.
but your friend may know you.
Mandy.
Like you're not sitting here trying to get attention from her nigga.
Mandy is very comfortable naked.
Yeah,
Mandy sleeps naked. Mandy loves. You know what I'm saying? And so it doesn't.
Bitch, we're sharing a hotel room
naked.
She had pajamas.
I don't care.
Bitch, you see me?
I ain't
pussy out.
Nobody's packing pajamas.
I'd be cold.
Pajamas?
I'd be cold.
Who travels with pajamas? But what's crazy is I packed my Louis Vuitton slippers.
You're good.
Naked
slippers.
Yeah,
but
I'm also on my periodness, all white, everything, and I'm not trying to have a murder scene. So a bitch got on shorts just in case.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's heavy over here.
I do feel like I've grown because there's like maybe 2 years ago I've been like a little bit irritated and be like, well, bitch, it was like my kid was in the right there, like, and these are just. I'm being like, it's an innocent action, and I assume that you know the same. But I've realized, and I'm coming to realize, like, you have to know your audience and like know what makes your friends uncomfortable. And it's really not. It doesn't matter how I feel about it.
The beautiful thing about podcasting, though, is that I think that it also forces us to stop taking things so personally. Like I don't take things like I'm a woman, and the more that I encounter different women and different personality types, the more I realize how many women are actually very insecure and intimidated by other women and women that are free and liberated. And I'm the opposite. I actually seek refuge with women and around women that are confident and comfortable, because I'm like, okay, well, you're not intimidated by me and I'm not intimidated by you, so this is a safe space. But also, this is a safe place for me. Mandy knows who she is. Mandy is going to show up 150% consistently who she is every time. That's trustworthy to me.
Right.
I can count on that. I love that.
You're
That's what I love about her.
Same.
Nothing shady.
Always the same. There's nothing shady. It's never shady. There's nothing
you
deviant
don't
at all.
who you are around.
Never.
This. But that's the thing too. How much is a friend really your friend if there's some sense of competition?
Right.
Like imagine like when you go out, that homegirl who wants to know what you wearing so they can make sure they can one up you and what they
And
wearing.
that's a thing amongst women.
It's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like why do you or
Mandy and I just be trying not to match.
Right.
Because we did one time and I was
But-
like,
but-
oh my God,
but
we're
not
literally
only
we're Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Wait. But not only trying to match, bitch, I have short hair. I'd be like, I don't want to look like your boyfriend when we go out.
Shut up.
Can I not look like the
One
sun?
of us always looks like each other's boyfriend when we go out. It's fine. I don't mind it. I don't care. But I love the fact that we are in a place where podcasting has allowed the freedom of us to exist however we choose to show up. And it's always enough. So I'm completely detached from the idea of anything conventional around what relationships are supposed to look like, what friend relationships. I love that my man is friends with Mandy and loves Mandy and is protective of Mandy and they have their own rapport. I need that. You know what I mean? The same way you're like, well, if my man can't cuddle with y'all, like if my man
If I'm out of town, you can't call my man and say, please call him. I need him to pick me up, and you don't go. Like we need to be equal friends.
Like I don't care. Like if Mandy's at home and is going through some shit, is like, yo, I'm not around, and she she need an ear or some advice on some man shit. Girl, call him. He can come over and talk to you. Y'all drink. Y'all talk. You cry.
I was about
whatever.
to say, I've given my number to you. Have my man's number. I think you may have my man's number, or maybe not. My other friend, like,
Yeah.
I know your man has my man's number.
Yeah.
Because y'all surprised me for my birthday. Like,
Yes.
so I think that's something again, but it has to do with just
Each
trust.
individual, but
Each
again,
individual.
but also not personalizing. Like I think it's incredible that you didn't see that moment as a moment for you to be like, well, damn, bitch, you know who I am. Like,
But there was a
kind of
time
person.
not very long ago where I was. Like I've known these are people. I've known you for 20 years.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Why, like, bitch, I've been naked.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and like, but I have to.
You've
and
been
you're
naked
right.
on your pod.
And podcasting
Yeah.
has helped me because I'm a fucking Cancer and I take shit personally.
Right.
But I it's not personal.
Right.
That's your preference. Cool.
Right.
You can't come to the pool party because I'm gonna be topless.
My titty's gonna be out.
Is that something that you've had to deal with at all, Erica?
Jamila being naked?
Well, not that, because
I'm like,
first
yes,
off, y'all
all the time. I
FaceTime
love
me.
it.
They FaceTime me both topless. So I know that you're as much of a nudist, but even just with friends or bringing friends around your man, I'm sexually liberated. You have a super sexually liberated best friend and co-host. Like, what has been your experience with being friends with someone who's sexually liberated? Because like Bridget just shared that, but what has that
I
experience
feel
been
like
like for you?
I can see both sides. Like I can understand why, I don't care if Jamila's naked around whoever she wants to be naked around. But I also see like other people's, like, because a lot of times the argument is, well, if your man's a creep, like that's not my problem. But also I'm like, okay, but men are just men too. Like, you know what I mean? They can't even help it.
But I also think there's a difference between being open and being liberated and being overtly sexual. It's very different. The energy is very different.
If you're being a sneaky whore,
yeah, that's not the
different.
same. That's
Yeah.
not the
And
same.
actually, I don't even associate with bitches like that. If I think
No.
by any means I'm gonna walk out the room, if you're nude or not nude, and you're gonna be on some, like, if I don't know you enough or trust you enough that I think you may be on some weird shit, because let's face
Right.
it, bitches will be your friend and be
Right.
fully clothed, and a nigga will be like,
still-
that's not your friend.
And
Right.
still, we'll see it a mile away.
And that's what I don't fuck with.
Right. Yeah.
So that is my thing. Let me show up how I show up. You show up how you show up. Let's all be who we are.
Yeah.
But if somebody needs to get X the fuck out, it's you.
Right.
Because I don't fuck with that. Anyway, enough about my titties. And showing up as we are.
Well, I commend you for, having a different reaction and being thoughtful and taking
Yeah,
taking
I
a
think
second.
that's very big of you. That's very big of you.
I thought I was a little dry when I was like, I'm sorry. So then I texted her after and said, I am really sorry. I wasn't thinking.
Let me double down.
Yeah, let me just reiterate so
Right.
shit doesn't get talked.
Right.
Like, yeah, she always be doing that. Her titties
Talk
be
ends
out.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have a fear. I'm probably because I'm like a people pleaser, and I have had taken things personally. I do have a fear of my friends talking behind my back. I'm always like, are they talking about me?
Really?
I don't know what that is, but I have noticed, like, in my inner thoughts, I have these like thoughts.
You know that I like fully acknowledge and accept that my friends talk shit about me.
No, I know when my friends talk shit about me.
No,
No,
I don't mean like shit, but like people always have opinions, like, and say things. I think it's human nature. I don't mean it in a negative way. I know
but
that
it's the
sounds
same
real-
shit they talk to you in your face.
I know that
No,
really.
it makes me sad. It sounds sad.
I know that sounds negative, but I think that like it's unrealistic for me to think that even when me and my friend have a disagreement, my friend isn't going to go say something to somebody else.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And express themselves in that moment and might be upset and might say some shit that they might not not really feel, but they're gonna say it.
What is talking shit to you though?
I know that's not her nigga. I know. I'm not gonna say nothing, not for now, because she in it. But when she break up with him, I'm gonna tell her this is not her nigga.
And I please wish friends, hello, if you're listening. Hi,
I don't
all
think
of you.
that's shit
Look
talking though.
Look at my feet right here. Look at this.
I told y'all the feet were lit.
those
On
are-
our podcast. She literally,
No, they're dirty, is what I'm saying.
But you know that's a thing too.
You want, is
Like guys
people
like
like
dirty
dirty
souls.
YouTube.
They're
Hello.
hippie. They're hippie
Close
feet.
Close up. It's my OnlyFans intro. I was just saying. I think that I think it's human of us to feel, express ourselves, and it's not so much. Maybe shit talking isn't the right word, but have opinions and expressions about interactions that we've had or in the state of our relationship at that time. I'm okay with that. You know?
Actually, only I'm okay with it if you talk to me about it.
To me,
first.
I was about to say.
If you will say it to me,
to me though, like, and that's where I find it odd with like, I blend my friends.
I don't
a
think
lot.
that's realistic.
Yeah, but I blend my friends a lot.
I don't think it's realistic for everyone all the time.
But to me, if there's an issue,
Mandy's a friend thief.
I am a friend thief.
Mandy's a friend thief.
I am a friend thief, but also if there's an issue, I would rather you bring it to me than
Of course you would.
than you bring the
of course, in a
like,
perfect
if
world,
there's an
yes.
issue, like let's all talk it out. Like, I mean, even if we have to get super drunk to do it, so where now you can bring it up because the person's there or whatever the case may be. But
the talking out might happen. The shit talking might happen before the talking out. I'm just saying, like sometimes there's like it needs to be like.
do you think that's
I don't want to say
do you think that's a feminine
but
trait?
it happens, and I don't think that person is not my friend because of that. Is what I'm getting at.
That's fair.
Is that like I realize that people are imperfect, they don't make the right choices every single time, and that they have to get shit off sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Like I've had to get shit off too. Like, yo, this bitch is acting crazy. What the fuck? Did you talk to her? What is she going through?
Right.
And then I'll be like, girl, what are you going through? Like, are you okay?
I think what qualifies shit talking is having a different energy in person.
Talk that shit.
Than what you said behind. You know what I'm saying?
And bitch, I'd have been watching the Real Housewives.
Yeah.
And the way them bitches be talking about a bitch, and then when that person gets in front of them,
the energy is totally different.
The energy is different.
Being a concerned friend,
That's-
like
well, then
I
yes,
can't believe
that's
this shit.
not your friend.
She's bugging out. She's tripping. She's fucking up. That's different than being like, man, that girl is fuck her. She's trash. She's blah blah blah. Like it's never that. It's
I
never
don't
that.
think my hopefully.
No, I mean,
friends
I know
are saying I'm trash.
my best friend, and I know she does it because we both do it with each other about other shit and other people in our lives where we get upset and we vent and we're frustrated. I know what the tone of that conversation is, but I also know her heart. So I know that there have been conversations too where she's probably talked to, and I know she has because it's come up later. Like you said, like a year or so later, something will come up, something will surface, and I'll be like, "Oh, so you did feel a way about that,
right?" And you know what? And I think we get better with that. With
yes,
age
for
you
sure.
do.
Because like I just said, like I've been better with it with age.
But I also think that in those moments, sometimes when shit has pissed me off and I won't say something necessarily, it's not because I'm trying to hold it against you. It's either A, because I want to process it first and make sure that that's really how I feel about it. Because emotions come in waves for me. I'm an Aries, so everything is on fire immediately. It's instant
the fact that y'all
flames.
keep excusing your toxic traits on
No,
your
it's not.
fucking
It's not
sign.
excusing. It's
I'm
just
a Cancer. I'm an Aries. Never do I say, well, I do this because I'm a Libra. Like,
No,
you're
but
a
I can
human,
tell
you're
you-
a person. Your experiences
Yes.
have shaped you.
Yes.
Maybe your parents, your
but your
friends'
tendency,
upbringing.
but not all of your, but
like
not all
that
of.
shit ain't got to do with the fact that I was born on October 11th. Get
Not
the fuck out here.
not all of your tendencies are circumstantial though, and that's just the way it is. Your body is made up of 80% water. The reason that we have tides
So is the earth.
exactly.
And
And
so
this
the
shit
fact,
is a dome.
and so the fact that we have tides, the fact that we have moon cycles, the fact that our bodies have menstrual cycles, it's all in alignment.
No,
so
I disagree with you, Mandy.
Okay.
yeah, it's a whole
duh,
other.
you
She don't believe in science
I
either, so we
very
just gotta
much
leave her where she
disagree.
is.
Crystal in your tit, and this bitch just made me do tarot cards.
Now you're making me feel like I need to tuck rose quartz in my bra. I may
Speaking
need to do that.
of the mystics
Yes.
Oh God.
and this motherfucking fake religious skeptic
Come on, Segu.
who was
Speaking
afraid.
of-
The bitch who just literally right before us was like, I just bought a dream catcher in my room. I said, well, bitch, what
She's
does
like,
what
oh,
does
well,
a dream catcher
room, the
signify?
theme of my room is bohemian chic. Well, sis, what do you think the bohemians do?
Wait, did you take?
think
Did
they got no tarot
you
cards?
take down that island?
I
The
don't know
island
what a
graduation
bohemian-
I'm not
photo.
gonna lie. First off, there's not.
Did you take down the island graduation?
Did you take
photo?
down that graduation photo that I like kind of put in the
did,
corner?
But and now it's a nude woman. I have to send it to you. It's now a woman being nude. I literally just asked my man. I said, "Do you like this picture better than my graduation graduation photo?
I came into Mandy's room. I said, bitch, you have this nice ass apartment with this fucking big ass portrait
of myself. I do. But you didn't say nothing about my nude portrait that's also on my wall.
Of course not.
You like the nude portrait, but not my graduation
It's
portrait.
not the graduation photo. It's like her in her cap and gown, but in the background there's like, first of all, she's 31, and then in the background there's flowers, like she's in Hawaii. She looks like she graduated from the University of Tahiti or some shit.
University
First
of
off,
Tahiti. I'm dead.
fuck out of here, both of you. But no, boho chic is like the colors, the palette.
It was just clearly a photo from a very long time ago that was
Bitch,
blown up.
First off, what's crazy is no, bitch. I just graduated in 2018 from college.
Anyway, read the
go
cards.
ahead.
Let's do it.
it.
Let's read these cards.
I pulled a card. Actually, Bridget pulled a card.
I did. What card did I pull?
You pulled the upright strength. And it's an 8 of strength, and it says
8 is my favorite number, by the way. Okay. 8 is a very symbolic, significant number for me.
Interesting.
My birthday is an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen to this. The card strength represents determination and power, like the chariot. However, while the chariot signifies outer strength and will, the strength in card speaks to the inner strength and the human spirit's ability to overcome any obstacle. Strength is about knowing you can endure life's obstacles. You have great stamina and persistence, balance with underlying patience and inner calm. You are committed to what you need to do, and you go about it in a way that shows your composure and maturity.
Wow.
When the strength card...
She's very mature.
Seasoned.
I am.
Seasoned. When the
I
strength...
keep my composure for the most part.
When the strength tarot card appears in a reading, you are fueled by your inner strength, personal power, strong will, and determination. You do not rule by trying to control others. You quietly influence and persuade. Others may underestimate your power because it is so invisible. But you should see that as an advantage, you can control a situation without excessive outward force. No one knows it's you calling the shots. It gives you confidence to overcome any growing fears, challenges, or doubts, and feel the fear and do it anyway.
That's one of my favorite affirmations, by the way.
Okay.
And it's a great book. Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Oh, feel the fear and do it anyway.
It's acknowledging and validating the emotion that is fear, but it's not giving life to the paralyzation that might come from it, or the desperation and decision making, the impulsiveness that might come from it either.
You be saying such big words, bro.
Great.
I be like,
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
I love that.
I love that
I
affirmation.
do
Yeah.
too. It's a great one.
Is that our affirmation?
That is our
That's the
affirmation.
affirmation
Yeah.
today.
what's the difference
look.
between affirmations and zodiacs? And like, because honestly,
A lot, bitch. A lot.
So what is this? Is that because you pulled the card?
We pull a card, and we usually do both. We pull a card, and we also do an affirmation. Those are separate things. One means affirming yourself and doing something.
So where did you just pull this out of thin air? Is that because it's the day today? Like,
Deck?
what?
No,
It's
from a deck.
Oh, it's from
this
the
is a
deck.
tarot deck, and Bridget pulled the
this
card.
card, and that was the definition of generally when this card comes up, this is what it means. That's the general.
Let me see this card.
Okay, so generally,
Little baby.
Which is amazing because I literally have had to talk myself out of myself.
What does that mean?
Well, I have to get out of my own way in a lot of situations and scenarios. And one of the things for me has been exuding and exerting. I mean, we talked about it briefly on our podcast, which was just knowing the power that you wield and knowing how to wield it. That's one of the things that whenever anybody asks me if there's anything I wish that I would have done differently in my career, it would have been that. It would
Getting
have
out of
been,
your own way?
Well, no, not getting out of my own way, figuring out how to cultivate and build my relationships and wield my power, because everyone has always seen more power in me than I've seen myself. And when I don't see it and I don't recognize it immediately, then I either change the environment, I moved across the country, or I decide to career pivot and shift because I keep hitting that wall of rejection and just feel like, okay, this is not working. Which doesn't necessarily mean giving up, but I redirect, I detour instead. I redirect my focus to exude my energy elsewhere. I feel like I'm finally coming into alignment with with recognizing that I have the amount of power that everyone else sees, but also figuring out a way to wield it in a manner that doesn't A, completely scare me and paralyze me, and B, doesn't piss people off or intimidate others, because I still have some of that people pleasing in my chart as well.
I want you to know that traditionally this card is represented by a woman who is standing over a lion, and it represents her taming that lion and that fear and really holding that power.
Yeah.
Which brings us to which the original topic for today was. I know we've gone a lot of places, which we usually do because bitches be chatting.
Thank you for being so full circle. I appreciate that because Mandy and I don't. We're like, oh my God, look, butterflies, pegging, and then
shiny
we're talking about sushi, and then who knows?
We really wanted to talk about today was, I think we all, Erica and I for sure, battle with the being alpha women and also being able to balance it and tap into our divine feminine. You know, like I think being alpha women and showing up in a certain way, taking up space, having power, talking shit transparently for thousands of people to hear is not a traditional path for all women.
No, it's not.
And sometimes when it comes to dating and men, I think it's extremely intimidating, and it's also difficult to balance. Like, nah, nigga, shut the fuck up. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not, get the fuck up and do it. I worked all day. And then like a lot of men, like, I need you to be softer. I want you not to say no. Listen to my opinion. Make me feel powerful. Praise me. You know, the shit niggas be talking about. You know? And it's like, should I be softer? Like, should I be more nurturing?
I mean, there's a, if we talk about debating and conversations with your partners, that's a common thing with me and my partner. Like, we have a 17-year age gap. So, and also Muslim. So in terms of the gender roles and the idea of what patriarchy looks like for him is completely different from me being a millennial and me being that modern day woman where you don't have to be everything as far as the protector. I mean, I still want you to protect me, but the provider, not you. I have my own shit. There's a lot of things that I don't have to count on him for. And so in terms of even the way we respond to things, I believe shit is 50-50. And that's a conversation all the time that he says, like, yo, why do you think everything is 50-50? It's not. And I'm like, why the fuck is it not?
That triggers me.
If you gonna raise your voice at me, my motherfucker, I'm gonna raise my voice at you.
Right.
If you come in, or maybe sometimes I'll pick up the tab at dinner, or you can, like, the way I think millennial women are, specifically ones who are entrepreneurs and have their own money, we don't, I guess, submit to those roles all the way. But also I think a lot of men are intimidated by that. And so he views me checking him or holding him accountable as me having masculine traits instead of me just being your partner and holding you accountable for either your actions, how you make me feel. And it's just like, I think a lot of men assume women should just sit there and be pretty, or sit there and cook, sit there and fuck, sit there and just be my woman, be my arm candy. And so when we show up as stronger than what that looks like, it becomes like a masculine, feminine thing instead of just...
It feels imbalanced.
Yeah, but also... Nah, my nigga, you raise your voice at me. Fuck out of here.
So
Yeah.
you thought
I wasn't gonna raise my voice at you.
Surprise, nigga.
Right. Oh, it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise. I was who I was when I got here. You knew what the fuck time it was when you showed up.
But it's also just different because still, as women, we're looking to be wives. We're looking to be girlfriends. And unfortunately, what that looks like to men is us submitting more than I think what we're willing to do. Like, we can come at our friends and be like, nah, we check our friends and raise our voice at our friends, da, 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 da. And for whatever reason, when we're in these relationships with men, we become different.
Oh,
It's almost like we show up with a mask when we're in a relationship or with a man
100%.
than who we show up to the world.
Right.
And I think that that's something that as women, we should probably check why. Why am I different with my friends? Why am I different in the workplace? Why am I different with my family than who I am with a man? And I think that that's just almost those ingrained ideas of who we're supposed to be as wives and girlfriends and partners to men. Who we show up to with men, for whatever reason, is completely different than who we show up in every other aspect of our lives. We have to figure that out.
I also think that there's something that we have to acknowledge that our definition as women of accountability looks different than a man's definition of accountability.
Ooh.
Right? And I had that conversation with my partner about the fact that he was raised by a single woman. Mm-hmm. And so accountability for him was punishment. Oh. So he processed being accountable for being punished for being wrong, for doing something wrong. And doing something wrong means that you doing wrong means that you are wrong.
And we know men like to be right.
And men don't want to be wrong. So it's got less to do with separating. Men conveniently separate their behavior from the character. They conveniently separate it. And that's something that I think a lot of men, especially black men, who are raised in single family households deal with consistently, because with a mother, that's what you deal with, right? You deal with a mother, with mothers of sons. Sometimes, not always, it's one or the other. It's either you completely spoil them and they're the king of your life, or you challenge him and you pressure him and you put the partner expectations on him for the man that's not present. And so with my partner in particular, it was a little bit of both. And I think for him, processing being accountable, what holding him accountable looks like means I'm yelling at him, I'm demeaning him, I'm belittling him, I'm emasculating him, versus being able to concretely and practically in the moment separate the man from the action, separate the man from the behavior. Me calling you to task isn't me saying that you're not man enough to correct this. It's not saying that you're not good enough in this moment. It's not a character judgment. It's not a life judgment. It's really a moment of separating the behavior, which has been very challenging for my partner and I, because I'm incredibly articulate and I'm very expressive and I'm very straightforward.
Y'all, she know all the big words.
So
and I'll just be like,
my mother always
like,
always says to me I should have been a lawyer, right? Because I am not a person that likes to mince words. I don't like to change the base of the argument. I'm a very confrontational person. I am, but not combative. I'm not interested in debate. I'm interested in resolution. So if I'm confrontational, it's because
You're trying to get to the result.
I'm trying to get to but also get to the root of the issue, because sometimes we'll misinterpret each other over something that's not really the issue. And it happened to me recently, and I had an emotional breakdown and breakthrough around something that really fucked with me, that was really triggering. And it had less to do with the actual circumstance of what was going on and more to do with an underlying trauma from childhood around abandonment, around a lack of acknowledgement and validity in my feelings and my existence. And it took me being triggered and us arguing for me to get to that place. And oftentimes I think women are more willing to go through that process than men, which is why it's so quick. It's so easy for men to be like, man, fuck out of here. That's not what I'm not wrong. I'm not, because it's the immediate response is ego, because that's their trauma
outside of
response.
ego is defense too.
Well, that's my thing, is that I think a lot of there's a lot of men identify as alpha men, right? Like,
right.
And they really don't
it's
be
more popular to be alpha, I feel like, as a man.
Well, no, it's more popular to think you're alpha.
Well, that's
that
what I'm
part.
saying.
That
Well,
part.
but
There's a lot of betas out here.
we always-
There's a lot of betas.
But I would also agree that there's a lot of not alpha females that are alpha female facing. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of women out here that would say I'm an alpha female when really they're not. They're
no,
hurt.
I'm definitely alpha
They're
female
hurt.
facing.
Ooh, talk your shit.
Definitely alpha female facing.
Oh,
It's true.
you're alpha facing.
I'm 100% alpha facing. 100%.
Okay.
Because in my relationship, I've learned in this relationship with this particular person and his personality type, I have to constantly create space for him to show up differently. I can't set the stage, and I think routinely in relationships, I've set the stage for him to reaffirm my past bullshit.
I mean, but not only relationships. You're very alpha, and I've been so surprised. When you're alpha, a lot of times you just want to take lead on all things. You believe your way is right. And even in terms of us doing business over the last year and change, you've been willing a little bit with me, because you trust me, I feel
100%.
like, to take a back seat, in which a lot of women as alpha women, even if they don't know shit, they want to combat you because I'm alpha. I want to take lead. And so we're just going to,
But is that
who
true
reigns
alpha,
supreme?
though?
I don't think that's a true alpha
not
trait.
true
I don't
alpha.
think it's a true alpha trait.
I think being a true alpha is knowing when you can trust someone else to take the
Knowing how to
driver's seat.
collaborate.
You can collaborate. Like, I trust you enough. I am an alpha woman, as are you. I think me and Erica both have pretty strong personalities.
Yes,
Y'all
I
are
would
strong
agree.
as fuck.
I would
And we're
agree.
also very close. And we
Yeah.
and we of course we have conflict. However, we trust each other.
Right.
And
I trust Mandy wholeheartedly.
So it's like, cool. You're good at that. You can do that.
Like, I'm gonna let you take that.
Cool.
You know?
Are you sure? Cool. We trust each other. No. And I think it takes a real alpha to be able to, when you're a fucking boss, you have to give away some of the power. You can't do everything. You have to know when you
May
have
is
to.
in here right now. Ask her, how long did it take me to even really trust you to do some shit? I'd be like, did you do this? Like,
I'm reading,
it took me a while.
and
It
I'm
took
reading
me-
the correspondence, and I'm like, I could just see May probably cringe, like gritting her
It
teeth.
takes me
like,
a while.
"Girl, I know what I'm doing. Just let me do my shit." And it is
super bossy, but it took me a while to relinquish power. It took me a while to realize that building a team was needed. Like, I was that one in school where if there was a group project,
You do it the whole thing.
can you just tell me how to spell your name?
I'm gonna just put your name on it. Don't worry, it's already done.
But I'm gonna do everything.
But is that really alpha, or is that because maybe you felt
I have a control problem.
like you had to be in control, like you
That's
weren't
the
in
control.
control
I'm a
in some
control
way, and
freak.
you had to be in control. Like I don't necessarily,
But also not. If I get A, or if I fail, I want to know I failed because of me. I don't want to fail because of someone else. Like, so in terms of giving someone the power as far as determining my destiny or my grade or my outcome, even in terms of podcasting. Oh, nah, let me sit here and have the final say on everything, which even in terms of, and it may have been just the conflict of us joining someone who didn't allow me the power I needed. That's probably why we're independent now with our pod. There were a lot of decisions where I was like, me and Bridget don't get to make any decisions. This doesn't sit well with me because this is my baby. This is my show. This is our show in terms of, in a lot of decision making, I don't think we had that. And so if I don't feel like someone's making the right decision and now I feel like we're failing because we have no say, no, we have to find a way to step up or be collaborative.
no, you
want to
fail because it's on you
space.
and not you.
Period.
You need that control.
Which I think still carries over into romantic relationships. I think that too, it works it's very advantageous for Mandy to be as free and liberated and open with her relation with her partner as she is, because if not, then she's gonna feel stifled and then he'll feel stifled. So it's very interesting to me that even the alpha word gets thrown around, because I say I'm alpha facing because I'm very submissive in my relationship. I adhere to my role in my to the conventional female role in my relationship. I make my man's plate. If we're laying down and he's like, "Babe, could you get me some juice?" I'll get up and go get him some juice.
I'm the same, but sometimes a bitch is tired.
Listen, and you know,
And you need to understand that. Like, I'm a human too, and for the 90% of the time, I'm gonna submit. Like, I like to cook. I like to rub a foot. I'm gonna do all that
I'm
shit.
I'm very
because
loving and very affectionate.
I'm very nurturing. Like, I'm gonna do
Yes.
that. However, I need you to be able to read the room and also know, like, okay, today's not this bitch. I need to clean up. I need to do things.
Oh, yeah.
Let me do something for
Listen,
you. Like,
I'll come home from the gym and the sage and the palo is burning,
It
honey,
needs
and
to
I
be
feel good about it.
even.
I'm like, great. I'm happy we're on the
I'm
same
literally
page.
doing a pot with 3 witches, and this is so weird to me. Like,
bitch, get with the times, okay? Get your crystals.
I didn't know we were back in Salem. Like the feather.
she got her witchy shoes on. You brought the shoes,
sure
though,
did.
bitch.
These are not fucking witch shoes.
You're
These are
you're a witch
You're
now.
fully invested in your bohemia.
Look at this
so-
tapestry
It's
dress
very-
that you have on.
it's
This is
very
very
boho
bohemian.
chic.
It is. Bohemian is unconventional.
Well, these are the colors of my room. So-
I've just been really reflecting on like this idea of the soft woman, right? Like we had a guest on, shout out to Daphne Wayne's, and
yes, Daphne.
you know Daphne,
Yes, I do. She's
love
great.
her. And
Oh, everybody. You even notice this bitch's new niggas. So.
Can you relax on the podcast?
Right, we not putting all the personal
Do they
business
not know
out.
that
Carry
you have
on. Not all the
multiple
business.
niggas?
Not all the business.
All right, my bad.
and she is a big proponent of women being softer, of them, you know, I don't, for lack of a better word, being like subservient to their men. Like, she is a career mother and wife. That is what she wanted to be forever. That is it.
Yeah.
And that's not it, because that's a whole ass job.
That's a lot.
But for some women that are like, because in this modern day society, the modern woman is supposed to have starting businesses, entrepreneur. She's going to do this. She's going to like get to have the baby and get straight to work, like Beyonce said. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then there's women that like,
That's exhausting.
I really just wanted to have babies and raise them and like nurture my man and take care of him. And like, I want to talk softer like this. I don't,
Can you stop?
My best,
that's exactly what
my
she said on the
best
show.
friend, my
She said she
best
wants to
friend that
talk
I grew
soft.
up with
not
is
that
like
she
that.
wants to, she does, and she thinks that women are loud. And that
Bitch, I'm loud as fuck.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
I might have to
her-
re-listen to that episode.
her
She
def-
said that?
Yes, she said. I think that women are
Mila was
supposed to
absent.
have soft bodies and wear sundresses and like
She did say the
talk
sundresses.
and talk gently and delicately, and like she is, you know, advocates for the return of the soft woman. And so many people did not fuck with that episode.
I
Like
ain't
they
gonna
were
hold
like,
you.
nah.
I don't like shit you saying right
I don't know.
now.
I don't know
But
how to
again-
fuck with
but
that
again,
episode.
I
don't
I
like
was
it.
there.
You were
Listen,
there, and you don't know if you fucked with
The only thing I don't agree with that is doing that for the sake of appeasing a man.
Me too.
That's what I don't
That
agree
is what
with.
I don't
I don't
fuck with.
oppose the softer side of women, because I grew up in New York City, which is a hard place to grow up. It's a hard place to live, and you have no choice but to be rough around the edges in order to survive. It's a survival instinct. So for me, being tough or being hard it is really is a survival mechanism. It's a defense mechanism. It's how you
and that's
figure out how to get by.
Yes.
Which isn't wrong, but also to find a softer side for me would really be the purpose would be to create balance, not to make a man feel better about our partnership.
You hit that shit on the motherfucking nose because I hate a bitch. Okay,
bitch.
Who act a certain way
a
in
bitch.
front of
Throw
her
the ponytail. I knew it was
front of her friends.
I knew. I was waiting on the ponytail.
You act a certain way out, and then as soon as a nigga come around, this bitch is like, "Oh no, not me. I didn't do that. No, I didn't go out last night. Like, oh no, I didn't do that, bitch.
Yes, the fuck you were. You was on the table. Stop fronting.
Yes, I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with that.
I don't know. I think we talked about it in our Patreon episode, though. It's the wearing of a mask for women. When they want to be chose by a man or receive a certain title or get the attention of the opposite sex, you put on a mask to where you're not even showing up as yourself anymore. Mm-hmm. And I think that as women, unfortunately, especially sexually liberated ones, and ones in which where our promiscuous lifestyles may deem us less worthy to society, it's like we have to put on this mask to feel as though this is how I have to show up to be chosen. This is how I have to show up for a man to accept me as a girlfriend or a wife or a mother. And it makes us lose ourselves, which is where the idea of how we even look at happiness, once we get into a relationship, we're not happy. We're mothers, we're wives, we're all these things, but we realize we're not happy. And it's because
we've muted
the way
we've muted ourselves.
Your whole self that you enjoy just to
we've
be
muted
chose
ourselves,
by
and
this
now we're
person.
judging bitches who we used to be,
or who we want to be.
That's a word.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
a
now
word.
we're looking at bitches having fun, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, she's such a hoe."
She's
like,
such a
bitch,
hoe.
you were sucking dick next to her 2 months ago. Like,
Just 2 months ago. 2 months. 2 months.
Okay, 2
2
years.
months. No, it could be 2 months. It could have been 2 months. The way these COVID relationships, listen,
real.
Right.
But
the way we switched up real fast.
That
like,
COVID
oh, no, I
got
can't
everybody in
now.
a relationship. I do feel that wait, what was I gonna say? I got high.
Bitch, you smoked your blunt in the
No,
last
wait, this is
episode.
important. This is an important thing. Oh, this is what I'm gonna say.
Yes.
If you are in a relationship with someone that you feel safe to be all of the things that you are, if I can show up 100% authentically myself, if it's sexual, if it's loud, because bitches be loud. I'm a loud bitch. I talk a lot. I can't help it. I like to take out my titties. I can't help it. It's just in my nature.
Your titties be out.
They do. I don't want to have to mute myself to be in a relationship. But if I find a man that's really an alpha man, that's really secure and really fucks with me as I am, I'm not only am I going to submit, I'm going to do all of the things because I know that in my truest form, you love and accept me. And I'm going to submit to you because I trust.
What is
that
submit? I hate this word.
I literally, I do.
I was waiting for you to chime in on the word.
Did you see her body cringing?
Yes, I felt the body language. I was like, ooh, Erica don't like this. Erica don't like this. She don't like
Why do
this.
you hate the word submit so much?
because
I hate it too.
Because I think there's
it's
a better.
like really slavey, right?
Yeah, it's very slavey.
Like I know I get the intention. I just don't like the word. I wish there has to be another word. What's another word? Like I don't know.
Bridget,
like
what's
nurture,
the word, bitch?
soften.
What's
like
the other word for submissive for a woman?
Let me give that some thought.
Soften. I feel like I don't know.
I think we equate submission with minimization.
Yeah,
and
I guess that's what it
come
is.
up
Yes.
with,
It feels weak.
there
And
has
like,
to be
does feel
something
weak. I don't like
different.
that.
and that's my issue with not my issue with the episode.
But that's ingrained in us. That's ingrained in us. I don't think the it's the word probably that's triggering. You know how white people hate the word white. They hate white privilege. It's like I'm not privileged. I was poor, and it's like it's the word, right?
word.
It's the word. I've had this conversation with my white family members. Like, let's bring you down to
Privilege
just
and poor are two
some
different things.
rudimentary. Well, no, privilege. It's not even just about privilege and poor. It's the word that bothers you. It's not the concept. It's the
I
word
thought it
that
was white
bothers you.
supremacy that bothers people too.
I think both.
It's both,
of
but a lot of white people don't feel that they have privilege. A lot of white people still feel like they've had to
Especially when
work
they grew
really
up
hard,
through bullshit.
and they've grown up poor. They have not managed to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, as Americans love to fucking say, but don't actually do.
Yeah, my thigh highs don't have straps.
Well,
So what are bootstraps?
you don't have to pull yourself. You don't have to. Your legs are short. You don't have much to pull up.
Yo, shut up.
It's not. You ain't got to
gotta
pull
work
them
hard
up.
to keep them shoes on. Okay,
These are
Right.
like
Right.
pussy boots. because they really go almost close to my whole groin.
I think it's the word, right? And so the word that I reintroduced to my family was advantage. Let's just call it an advantage. Let's just call it a home court advantage. That's all it is. Being born white gives you a home court advantage. It just means the chances are there's no odds stacked against you,
which is wild,
only because of your race.
Yeah, but this ain't even a home, which is wild. They came here and didn't.
Well, neither is the home court. The players don't own that court.
Right.
So
maybe it's like tapping into another side of your femininity, because I think there's so many facets of, I mean, that's a long way to say it, but there's just so many facets of femininity. Some of it is like Jamila says, like, you know, like putting toothpaste on your nigga's fucking toothpaste.
I would not.
No,
but some women literally get joy from being able to nurture their man like that. I don't judge a woman that does that.
I'll just lick his balls. Like, I'm not putting toothpaste on the toothbrush. Just, you know what? You can get teabagged.
His balls.
Maybe the word, when I think about submission, even as somebody that is alpha facing, or I mean, I'm an alpha in my own space, in my own right, but I do think most people change in relationships because you are combining identities. Ultimately,
powers.
You should have your own. You're combining powers, so you should change a little bit. Certain mannerisms, certain relationships
hopefully
change.
They're influencing you.
Hopefully it's a positive influence in a way that's making you want to grow, which is uncomfortable. It's making you be okay and accepting that you're going to make mistakes along the way. You're not going to do everything right for yourself or for them. Maybe the better word would be equalize.
But
you want to equalize
men don't like that shit. Men don't think we equal, so that equalizing shit.
Well, because
don't work for them.
No, because if we're going to be really honest, most women don't want to be equal. We don't.
I'm not
we
want to
be taken care of, because I ain't gonna hold you.
We don't want to be equal.
Dinner, that means you gonna be.
We
friend
don't
zone.
want to be equal. That's bullshit. It's a farce. We don't.
It needs to fluctuate. But I think
again,
that's 50-50. That's equalizing.
But
I don't. Well,
maybe
I'm down. I'm gonna put it on my dating profile. Like, I need a fluctuating love story here. Like, I need to have more power. You need to have more power. We can come together and be equal.
But it also looks different for everyone. You have to customize that. You can't just say that you want. Well, women just want equal. We want equal pay. We want equal respect.
Yeah.
We want equal treatment. We don't want equal expectation, because women are different than men. You cannot expect me to carry all of these things in this room, because physically I don't biologically have the anatomy to do it with ease the way a man does. So in terms of equality, we have to be really specific with our words about what that looks like. That's why I say women.
But also, Bridget, you like 5'8". If a nigga 5'1", y'all might be able to do the same shit.
Shut up.
No, we still can't.
He still can't. But I think,
because if he a little, not a little
we
person.
don't body shame.
So you a little person? So Mandy a little person. Mandy 5'1", she a little person. Mandy a little person.
She's like 4'11".
Okay, don't do this. I'm not. I'm 5'1" and a quarter.
Me too.
If you're a little person, does that how
4'11"?
Look,
4'11"?
Why do you short bitches know this?
Wait.
She's
Why?
like 4'11".
Yeah, we looked it up. We thought we might be on the spectrum of midget.
I grew up driving in Florida. You could get a handicap sticker, and a bitch was trying to get that shit. And a bitch was trying to get that shit to brought close. No, because I'm not 4'11". I'm 5'1" and a quarter.
Fuck, man.
You like slunched down?
4'11".
That would have been convenient as hell.
You get a sticker.
That would have been convenient for that handicap
Why do you
placard.
know the sticker? Wait, let me say one thing about this. I think we also have to think about where our alpha comes from. I think a lot of women have had to step into their alpha power because the lack of male energy.
I was about to say, a lot of us were raised by single parent households. Mm-hmm. So my mom worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs to take care of us. We only answered to my mom. My dad came in and bought us the name brand shit and sometimes paid his child support. But it was like, my mom was really, and so my idea of being a woman came from working hard, providing for a household.
Same.
And then unfortunately, she also stemmed the image of what I don't want to be. Because when she had boyfriends that came in, you're working multiple jobs, you're coming home to cook, you're paying his bills sometimes. And I still never saw a man, in terms of everyone that my mom dated and came in, they never showed up as a provider or showed up to even take any weight off of her, it looked like. And so I've only seen her work so hard. and then them niggas still cheated, and then we had to roll around with pots and pans ready to beat that nigga ass because he was taking my mama car to go see another bitch.
So Mandy, my question is to you: if that was not your experience, do you think that you'd be an alpha?
That's why I was dating rich niggas, because I said, you know what? I'd rather cry in a Rolls Royce than a Honda. That was
Amen
a real
to
thing
that.
for me. Like, if a man is gonna show up as a man and you're still gonna hurt me, I'd rather you show up.
That's the name
and
of the
maybe
episode.
I gotta.
That's the name of the episode, right?
I mean,
If you gonna show up as a man and you gonna hurt me.
You don't need to cry
I'd
at
rather
all.
cry in a Rolls Royce than a Honda,
But
bitch.
also, if
I don't want to cry at all.
I don't want to cry at all.
which is no,
Right.
I don't want to cry at all. Should be the topic.
I don't
It
wanna
should be the
cry.
title of this episode.
And
But
that's a good Mariah Carey song. I don't want to cry.
I don't want to cry at all. But
It's a good
however,
song.
in terms of how I viewed men, if I was gonna cry, I would rather my exertion to the relationship be less. And so maybe you provided. Maybe you showed up as a stepdad. Maybe you showed up in a way that I felt protected. But in the way that my mom showed up, she showed up as everything, as the man and the woman of the relationship. And then I felt like the men she dated showed up almost as another child instead of showing up as a partner. And so when I got into dating, I said, ain't no way I'm finna sit here and pay for bills, be a mother, be a provider, cook, clean his drawers, and he still go out and cheat on me. Or he still go out and disrespect me when I show up and give him my all. And so I was like, bet. I'd rather a man provide for me monetarily, or maybe I got a purse, or maybe he paid a bill to where those things would be, I would be able to make an excuse for it.
It was the opposite. You were trying to flip the script.
I'm gonna make a mid-30s comment
Okay, go ahead.
about this.
I mean,
and
it's
the
different
fact
now
that-
because
Early
bitch, I'm
mid, early
rich.
mid.
No, I'm gonna make a mid-30s comment about the
It's a little
fact
different now.
that young women have lowered the fucking bar, and that's why. And a lot of women have a similar mentality.
That's why I don't fuck with ball players no more.
Where the right.
They be thinking I can just come to the hotel
because
room.
well no because there's women, there's young women that make that scam, that don't have any expectations. They will do whatever they need to do with these men, for these men, just to get bills paid. That's the only expectation. That's the only level of provision. And there's a lot of broken men out here thinking that that's okay and that that's enough to show up with other women who require more, and they don't, because they don't have to. They don't have to. A man can immediately decide, which is also why, in my mind, why so many women end up single and upset, is because a man doesn't have to meet those standards and expectations. Because if he's not going to do the bare minimum and get what he needs from you, he's gonna find somebody else to do it
Absolutely.
and accept that bullshit and do
absolutely
whatever.
agree.
So I
absolutely
mean,
agree.
listen, I don't envy anyone that's in their early 20s trying to figure it out and navigate the dating space now, because there's a lot of cute girls and stupid rich bitches that are rich off men paying for all this other shit.
Rich and depressed, bitch, because riches don't make you happy. A nigga who you don't like and a bunch of bags is not going to make you happy.
You'd be actually, when you're early 20s, it does. A lot of these girls
right.
are happy.
I ain't gonna lie, that was me.
A lot of these young 20s bitches is happy. They happy.
But there's some older bitches who have the same mentality.
Well, because they don't want anything else, but also because they've never seen the value in anything else. B, they don't believe it exists. Or C, they don't believe that they themselves will be able to bring the equal amount to the table to be able to maintain that level of a relationship. And I think that's something that's important for us as women that are now in our 30s to be like, hey, by the way, you can still be a dope ass woman and find a man that's going to meet you where you're at, because they're out there, they exist. And I feel bad because I think a lot of women have been hurt and scorned by a lot of broken men who were also raised by broken women, and the cycle has just continued, and there haven't been enough of us. Well, there just hasn't been enough of us to break that cycle of like, look, there's nothing wrong with you as a woman. If you don't want to, quote unquote, submit to a man, there's nothing wrong with you. You can find a man that can meet you where you're at and grow with you and encourage that softer side. I think for a lot of women, the alpha personality was a defense mechanism, but for some of us it's not. For some of us it's just like, nah, I just
who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
I just who the fuck I am. And there's still gonna be men that are gonna see that and be like, oh yeah, this is dope, I like this. Because again, like I said earlier in the episode, I love how strong and confident Mandy is. There's nothing that intimidates me about Mandy whatsoever. Her freedom and her liberation and her conviction in who she is creates the space for me to have freedom. She doesn't take up space. That's the other thing. For women, we have to stop acting like women who are confident and are big in a room are taking up space.
Well, it's okay.
They're
It's okay
expanding.
it's okay
No,
to take
taking
it.
but they're
more
not
space.
taking up more space.
Right.
They're
There's no
expanding
space.
the space.
There's no limit.
They're
of space.
expanding the space.
Right.
But think about it. If you put
Just
something,
so y'all know, when I walk in a room, y'all gonna know who I am.
No, of course.
It's-
You take up
but listen,
space.
if you,
that's
you-
not even the
you
concept.
put
The
a
concept is-
confident and convicted woman in a box, she's going to break the box.
You
she's
do
going to
even
expand
more,
the
like-
box, so you're creating space
Yeah. For more space.
women.
That's even more.
You're
That's
creating more
important.
space for more women.
Oh my God,
So
I love that.
This
that's
is a
me.
public PSA announcement.
Yeah.
If you are indifferent, if you are unsure, if you are thinking that you need to shrink in any way, shape, or form for a nigga, a relationship, a baby, a marriage, or a friend, that ain't your friend, that ain't your nigga, that ain't your space. You need to be who you are, and that is the only way to manifest and cultivate more power and better relationships and peace. So you ain't crying in a Honda or a motherfucking Lamborghini.
Don't cry. Don't cry at all.
Don't cry at all.
crying at all.
Don't cry at
Don't
all.
cry at all. That's the
and
title of this
if you around people that make you cry, friends or otherwise, that really ain't your space.
Talk your shit.
Amen.
I love you guys.
Thank you to my alpha bitches. I love you.
Oh my God, we love you. I know
Thank y'all
Mandy
for
and I are
having us.
the two deep voice ass bitches that be around all of y'all, and everybody just be like, well, we can't tell y'all apart on the. And I'm like, damn, it's hard. Even with a mask on, Mandy and I walk through the airport, people are like, oh my God, I know you.
Girl,
I know that voice.
I landed
And
in
Mandy and I are like,
LAX and was
fuck.
giving hugs to like
Yeah.
2-3 people. I said, oh.
Yep.
Oh my God, my friend is famous.
Yeah, Mandy famous, y'all.
But thank you guys not only for having us, but we make a joke on our pod that we're the aunties because we both lived a life in our 20s. I was a hoe. She was a whole Rock Nation artist.
You could just call me a rock star because Rock Nation didn't really do anything.
You're right.
So
Well, that
we'll just
part
call me
too.
a rock star.
Well, she was a rock star. I was a hoe. I'm no longer. But being in our 30s, we're able to look at how we navigated the space of friendship and relationships in our 20s compared to now. So we make fun and call ourselves aunties, and we talk about music, pop culture. So if you haven't yet tuned into See the Thing Is, our episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And we're also on Patreon, patreon.com/See the Thing Is Pod. Thank you guys.
we love you
Thank
guys
you.
so
We
much,
love you.
ladies. Thanks for
Thanks for sharing
us.
space with us. And y'all know where to find us, Good Moms, Bad Choices, on all podcast platforms. Make sure you check out Patreon. I actually did a little video audio. We have these like mini episodes we're doing on Patreon lately. And so I discuss my opinions about the soft woman. So go check that out when you can. Subscribe to Patreon. I hope you guys are
soft.
enjoying.
My thighs are soft. My skin is soft.
We're soft
We're
women.
soft. We are soft women. No matter the
Hey,
alpha.
hey,
I
and it's
think-
cuddle season right now.
I think
so
divine femininity is soft in its core. I think that there's so many facets of it, but I think that like it's meant to be soft and like jiggly and like
So be
Good.
soft and
nurturing
jiggly,
It's
ladies.
also
like-
meant to be strong and fierce.
Absolutely,
both.
absolutely. I think that that goes without saying. You know what I mean? So
And sexual.
anyway, I love you.
Love you.
Bye, guys.